Hello, this is Anna from Simply Contact. We make customer support simple. Today, let's talk about money, specifically the real cost of running customer support in-house versus outsourcing it. Because this is the one of those topics where the obvious answer is usually wrong. Most companies compare hourly rates. They look at what they pay an in-house agent versus what an outsourcing partner charge per hour. And they think, wait, outsourcing costs more per hour? And sometimes on paper, it does. But here is the thing. Hourly rate is maybe 10% of the real cost. The other 90%. That's the part nobody puts on the slide. So let's break it down, the full picture. Let's start with hiring. The average cost to hire one customer support agent in the US is around $4,700. That's according to the Society for Human Resource Management. And that's just the hiring process. Job posting, screening, interviews, background checks, HR time. Now multiply that by your team size. And then multiply again by how often you need to replace people, because that brings us to attrition. And this is the number that quietly destroys support budgets. The industry average for call center turnover is 30 to 45% per year. That means if you have a team of 100 agents, you are replacing 30 to 45 of them every single year. Every one of those replacements costs you recruiting, onboarding, training, and weeks of lower productivity while the new person ramps up. Research from Harvard Business Review suggests it costs between $10,000 and $20,000 to replace a single call center agent. At scale, that's not a line item, that's a budget. For context, at Simply Contact, our monthly attrition is around 5%. The industry standard is 8 to 12. That difference compounds significantly over time, in cost, in quality, and in consistency. Next, training. An in-house agent doesn't become productive on day one. Onboarding takes weeks, sometimes months for complex products or regulated industries. During that time, you are paying a full salary for someone who's still learning. And if that person leaves in 6 months, which statistically many do, you start over. Then there is a management overhead. In-house support means you need team leads, QA specialists, workforce managers, trainers, IT support for your tools, someone to own scheduling, someone to own reporting. These are not optional roles, they are essential, but they don't show up when you compare our hourly rate versus theirs. And let's not forget tools and infrastructure, CRM licenses, ticketing platforms, telephony, QA software, knowledge-based system, analytics dashboards. Each one comes with a license fee, per seat, per month, and someone needs to configure, maintain, and update all of it. Then there is a compliance. If you operate in regulated industry, fintech, healthcare, insurance, you need certification. PCI, DSS, ISO 27001, GDPR, HIPAA. Getting certified is expensive. Staying certified is expensive. Audits, documentation, security protocols, incident response training. This is a permanent cost layer that many companies underestimate. And finally, scaling. This might be the most expensive hidden cost of all. When your volume spikes, a product launch, a seasonal peak, a crisis, and you need 30 more agents, how fast can you get them? In-house? Weeks, maybe months. And by that time they are trained, the spike is over. You've either lost customer waiting or you are now understaffed and burning budget. So when you add all this up, hiring, attrition, training, management, tools, compliance, scaling, in-house support is often 40 to 70% more expensive than outsourcing. Not because agents are expensive, but because the system around them is expensive. Now I know what some of you are thinking. Okay, but if I outsource, I lose control. This is the most common fear, and honestly, it's a valid concern. If outsourcing means handing off your support to a random team that doesn't understand your product, your customer, and your brand, then yes, you should be worried. But that's not what modern outsourcing looks like. Let me tell you what it actually looks like when it's done right. You get a dedicated team trained on your product, your tone of voice, and your escalation logic. You get quality assurance that covers 100% of interactions, not 2 to 5% most in-house teams manage to review. You get real-time analytics and reporting that give you more visibility into your support operation, not less. You get AI tools embedded into the workflows, knowledge base, translation, QA automation that most in-house teams simply can't afford to build and maintain. And you get the ability to scale up by 50 agents in a month, or scale down when volume drops, without layoffs, without idle payroll. So the question isn't really, do I lose control? The question is, what kind of control do I actually have right now? Because if your in-house team has 35% annual turnover, if your QA covers 3% of conversations, if your supervisors spend half their time answering basic questions from new agents, that's not control. That's survival mode. Outsourcing done right doesn't mean giving up control. It means gaining a system with a built-in accountability, built-in quality, built-in scalability. Let me give you some real numbers from our operations. Our clients typically achieve CSAT score above 80%, QA success rates above 90%, cost reductions of up to 70% compared to in-house team, and first call resolution above 80%. These aren't theoretical. These are operational results from companies in travel, fintech, e-commerce, and other complex industries. So let me wrap this up. If you are comparing in-house versus outsourced support, don't compare hourly rates. Compare total cost of ownership. Include hiring, training, attrition, management, tools, compliance, scaling. That's the real number. And if you are worried about losing control, flip the question. Ask yourself what kind of operational infrastructure you'd need to build in-house to match what a specialized partner already has in place. In most cases, the math speaks for itself. At SimplyContact, we help companies in complex, high-expectation industries build support operations that reduce total cost of ownership while protecting customer experience and brand trust. If you are evaluating your option, we are happy to walk you through a real cost comparison. Make sure to subscribe for more content on CX and customer support. See you in the next one.